good afternoon, and good evening, Comp Lab students. So, we have revised our eulogy. Now we're going to revise our ad critique. So, you submitted your final draft to me. You received some feedback on things. I didn't specifically give feedback on grammar and stuff, but I want to go through the revising process of the ad critique because, as I've mentioned, writing is a recursive process. It is ongoing and it never really ends. So, much as we did with the eulogy, you're going to do the same with the ad critique. If you don't have it in a Word document, open it up in a Word document. Copy and paste into Word if you wrote it in Google Docs, or you can download it as a Word. Again, do not buy Microsoft Word. You can get the whole suite of Microsoft Office for free through the college. Save money. Save it to your desktop, to your computer, or jump drive so you don't lose the work you're doing on it in case something happens to your computer. After you do those two steps, go into Word and under the Review tab, click Track Changes. From there, it will open up a little sub thing and you will click on Track Changes to track any changes you make on the document that we're working on now. So any changes you make will be noted. After you've done that, go back to the Home tab and make sure your font is Times New Roman and 12-point font because every essay you write in Comp, specifically for sure, needs to be Times New Roman 12-point font. From there, I want you to click on the Paragraph section under Home on the little bitty button right here, and then this little box will pop up. In that box, you will go to Spacing, and under Line Spacing, you will select Double instead of Multiple or Single or 1.5, and then you will check the box that says Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Once you have that done, hit the little Save button at the top of the corner so you do not lose any work from there. The first step we're going to do in our ad critique is make sure you followed MLA format guidelines because that is part of the grade. So, Times New Roman 12-point font, double spacing, front page formatting, your name, the class, my name, day, month, and year formatting, and the title centered. If you do not have it, put it in there and it will show me that you have added those things in there or you've adjusted. Remember that your title is always centered, everything else is always left-hand aligned. From there, we're going to look at the introduction and the thesis statement. Your introduction is going to function as a basic introduction. In the essay and thesis statement lecture, we talked about how introduction needs to start off with a broad discussion of your topic and narrow down to your thesis statement. For the ad critique, your thesis is argumentative, so you're making a claim about whether or not the ad is effective in selling the product to its audience. That is your argument. So your thesis needs to reflect that. It can be as simple as the ad is effective because the ad is not effective because. You must argue one side or the other. You don't argue both sides. So you're making a claim. Stick to the claim. Add in your let me go back to this real quick. For your introduction, consider if you need to work on the introduction and make the discussion broader. Don't just jump into this advertisement talks about. Talk about things in generalized terms. Look at the student example. You can mirror that kind of example writing if you would like. I know the student example is a little boring, but think about how they talk about it. They talk about a broader discussion and narrow down. Add anything to your introduction that you need to. Go in, if you have a thesis statement, add it in. If you don't have a thesis statement, add it in. Sorry, guys. And if you do, you're fine. From there, click on the Review tab. Highlight the entire introduction from beginning to end and then hit New Comment. Explain the changes that you made to your introduction and if you made changes to your thesis statement. Why did you make them and what purpose do they actually serve in the writing? Also, you can consider looking at the feedback I potentially gave you as well as the rubric and changing things based on that, especially the rough draft. That's a really good one to look at. Now we're moving on to the second paragraph. I want you to change the font color of your second paragraph to orange. Not highlight, change the color to orange. Look over the second paragraph, read over it. Does it summarize the entire ad from beginning to end? So from the moment the ad starts to the ending of the actual advertisement, does it tell me everything that's going on? Is it descriptive, painting a picture for your reader to see it? If I close my eyes and you read it aloud to me, I can totally see what's going on. And keep in mind, it's not just seeing, it's also hearing. So what's the music like? Would I be able to see the ad without watching the video with the summary and descriptions? Make changes if you need to. Add detail if you need to. Make sure you are giving a strong explanation of the ad. And then also go in and correct any grammatical issues with the writing as well that the final draft shows on Turnitin. Once more, you're going to click on the Review tab. You're going to highlight the entire second paragraph that's all in orange. And then you're going to hit New Comment. From there, you're going to give me a comment bubble. And you're going to explain the changes you made to your summary, if you made them. Why did you make them? And what purpose do those changes serve? If you made no changes, why did you not make them? Then we're going to look at the proofs. Now, your body of your essay, paragraphs 3 through 5 potentially, are going to be where each proof is analyzed and discussed. So every proof paragraph, change the font color to purple. Then look at each paragraph. Do you introduce each proof and explain what they are by themselves in their own respective paragraph? So ethos is the use of, logos is the use of, that is explaining. After the introduction, do you explain how the ad uses that proof using specific examples from the advertisement? So each proof should be its own paragraph. So 3, 4, and 5 if you have all 3. 3 if you only have 1. 3, 4 if you have 2. And then specific examples. This ad uses this. This is this, and this is how it works. Make changes to those analyses as you see fit. Go back and relook at your ad. Add details that you need to. Take away stuff that you feel you don't need. And also correct any grammatical issues that might exist. Pause here if you need to. Do that work. All right. Now that you're done making those changes, once more, click on the Review tab and highlight all of your paragraphs that are in purple, and then hit New Comment. In your comment bubble, explain the changes you made to the analysis. Why did you make them and what purpose do they serve? If you made no changes at all, explain why you made none. Give me good reasoning about why you made no changes. Last but not least, we want to look at the transitions between the body paragraphs in terms of the body. Are the transitions between paragraphs, either the end sentence or the beginning sentence, smooth and tie the two different paragraph topics together? So do they connect the points together? You don't jar from each point. You smooth like peanut butter flowing along on a sandwich. If you don't have transitions, fix the transitions. Make sure it is a smooth transition that connects the two paragraphs and the 2 points together. Every time you switch topics, you're going to need a transition sentence between them. Remember the revising paragraphs that we went over. That tells you how to do that and how to do so properly. Pause if you need to. All right. From here, we're going to look at the last part of the essay, which is the conclusion. Does the conclusion function as a way to explain the argument you're making on how the ad is or is not effective? So does your conclusion say, yes, the ad is effective in selling the product because it does these things in it? Or if you say it's effective at selling the product but not the company, that kind of thing. So do you explain how it is or is not effective? Make changes that you need to this, okay? When you're done making your changes, download it as a PDF file, save it, download it as a PDF, and then upload your final draft to the assignment. Make sure to keep a copy because this will also go in your final portfolio. I'm super excited to see all the changes that you've made with your essays, guys, and your reasoning behind these changes. Hope you have a great time doing this. Have a great day.